Unfortunately, the real Luke wasn't available to do this intro. He got eaten by that bloody massive croc.
Hey everyone, it's Luke, and today I'm super excited because I'm getting my hands on Sora 2, the brand new language immersion tool, and we're going to test it together. If you've been looking for a fun way to boost your English using, is it just a gimmick? Let's find out! Make sure to like and subscribe!
I don't always check out 90-day programs, but when I do, I usually choose English fluency in 90 days.
Anyway, let's get into the video.
Thanks, guys. Sora 2 is out, and it's very interesting. What's the main difference between Sora 1 and Sora 2? The main thing is how it handles speech. You can type out specific things that you want to be said, or you can just give a general description. Talk about this, talk about that. That's pretty cool from a language learning standpoint. A simple example would be you're learning a word or phrase and you want to hear it in a sentence. So you can put it in your own mouth or someone else's to get a deeper sense for it. So I think that's interesting. I'll show you an example. I could maybe make one, but I'll show you an example down here that I found.
Friends talking about having good riz. Have you heard?
So this is Mr. Rogers. If you don't know Mr. Rogers, the ultimate kids show host. He's talking about riz.
Friends talking about having good riz. Riz is a word young people use for charm or smooth confidence, especially when someone is...
So that...
Have you heard friends talking about...
I think that's interesting. Is that so useful that this would be the reason you use it? No, I don't think so. I think a more interesting way to use Sora is for language exploration and also play. So let's talk about those two things. Language exploration. So just scrolling through the feed and finding interesting videos and then looking at the prompts to see what language was used to create that video. Okay, let's find one here. This one looks interesting.
I can feel the day slow down. Little pause on my life, we've always been around. Breathing in the quiet.
That's a very cool style, and the description is good. A watercolor style art, music video, a heartwarming and emotional story set to lo-fi chill pop music. So there I can pick out some interesting words that I may not have known. The style is watercolor and some useful descriptors like heartwarming, the style of music. So that's one way to just explore and then look at the prompts to see what words basically created the video. But I think there's a more interesting thing here. I believe that using language well means making stuff, means creating, whether that's vibe coding or making videos or pictures. You now have this magical thing, AI, which can take your words and turn your words into a thing that you can use, that you can look at, that now you can watch. And so what are you going to do with that power? Just scroll through other people's videos? I would challenge you to now, with your imagination and your language, try to create the most interesting things you can imagine. Try to create things that are surprising. Try to create things based on your dreams. Try to create things that you've thought about in the past maybe and you'd like to see. You were listening to a song and you thought, oh, wouldn't this be so cool? Challenge yourself to figure out how to recreate the things in your imagination. And the interface between your imagination and the final product, the video, is your language, is how you describe it. That doesn't mean it has to be this long description. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But the key thing is that it's kind of a superpower now, and the better you are at describing, the more precise your language, the closer the final result will be to what's in your head. And it's also very playful. So this, I think, is the main thing. The playfulness of Sora 2, image generation, although it's static, I think it's a little less interesting. Vibe coding. We're in the age now where language is the interface between what's in here and what's out there. And why isn't everyone talking about that? That's crazy, right? That's so cool. So let's just play around a little bit and see what we can create. So one of the things I'm working on is a language learning app where you meet all kinds of characters and have interactions with them, and it uses AI, but you're also learning a lot of stuff. And I'm having a lot of fun building this prototype. And this guy is one of the characters in the app that you meet. Now, right now it's very static, right? Right now you meet the characters and they communicate with text and it's static images. It's a prototype. So I want to try to get a feeling for the life of the game and who these characters are and what they should do. And so I uploaded this static image from the game and then just gave the action that I wanted with the language. The man raises his hand to his forehead and says, "Thanks, I never would have thought of that. I feel better already." So let's listen and see if it gets it right.
Thanks. I never would have thought of that. I feel better already.
That's pretty good. And I mean the static image is exactly like that. So that's incredibly good.
I feel better already.
So last night I had a really weird dream. I know why I had the dream. It was strange, but it's because I was working outside. I was shoveling, the ground was very muddy, and more mud kept accumulating on my boots. And my feet started to get really heavy. And I was clomping around outside for hours with these heavy boots that kept getting bigger and bigger because the mud kept sticking to the boots. So, okay, you have an image of that, right? Well, in my dream, it was like that, but more extreme. Each step, my boots kept getting bigger and bigger with mud, higher and higher until I was 30 feet in the air, trying to walk. And it was so heavy. It was a very strange dream, but I don't know if it was a nightmare or a dream or what. But so how would I describe that? I might say a man, I'm not, okay, let's just make it me. Okay. Walking down a busy city street lined with surreal looking trees with leaves of all colors. He is wearing boots covered in mud with caked mud, so thick, with caked mud nearly 20 feet thick beneath each boot. He walks with great difficulty, struggling to lift his feet. Okay, that's what I want. That's, I think, pretty vivid. And that's something where I have to kind of think it through and how do I want to say it and how am I going to describe that? It's a great way to work on your description skills. And the cool thing then is that you get immediate feedback. Okay, yes, sometimes maybe it's Sora and it's not good at capturing your vision, but it could also be that maybe I can describe it another way. This isn't quite what I was thinking about or imagining, refining it over time until, yeah, that's like my dream, or that's like this thing I saw, or this place I visited, or this idea I have, or whatever. So it's a kind of playground where you're using language, right? So let's see. Here's one that I just created, unrelated. I don't wear those shoes. This is a different thing. I just uploaded this background and I said, hey, make a video of me. What was my description? Lukepriddy walks into the room from the left, sits down on the sofa and say, oops, nice. Okay, let's see if I say nice.
Nice.
Idiot. Just for the record, I do not wear shoes indoors ever. I never wear shoes indoors. It doesn't happen.
Every step feels like I'm dragging a mountain. 20 feet of mud just hanging off my boots. Come on, one more. Colors here doesn't even feel real. Just keep moving. Oh, man, every step feels like I'm dragging a mountain. 20 feet of mud just hanging off my boots. Come on, one more. Colors here doesn't even feel real. Just keep moving. Oh, man, every step feels like I'm dragging a mountain. 20 feet of mud just hanging off my boots. Come on, one more. Colors here doesn't even feel real. Just keep moving. Oh, man, every step feels like I'm dragging a mountain. 20 feet of mud just hanging off my boots. Come on, one more. Colors here doesn't even feel real. Just keep moving. Oh, man, every step feels like I'm dragging a mountain. 20 feet of mud just hanging off my boots. Come on, one more. Colors here doesn't even feel real. Just keep
Colors here doesn't even feel real. That's good. I mean, it looks ridiculous. Doesn't look as real as it felt in my dream with the water coming out, but I'm 20 feet off the ground. My boots are caked in mud, and the trees are many colors, and I think I did a pretty good job explaining that. Not bad. Not too shabby.
Man, every step feels like I'm dragging a mountain. 20 feet of mud.
I love that expression. 20 feet of mud. 20 feet of mud. Pretty good. So my take is, if you're thinking, oh, this is a great way for me to learn English because I can create short videos and learn language from those short videos, I suppose you can do that. As I mentioned, you can do that. You can learn Rizzed from Mr. Rogers. And that's kind of cool, but it's also kind of gimmicky. And for that to be really useful, I think what you would need is a 10-minute video with dialogue between multiple characters using the language that you want to hear in context. Once that happens and it's very realistic and you can put yourself in movie scenes, then it gets really interesting, and I think that becomes a great way to learn language. For now, I think the other two things are just a lot more practical and interesting. One, just exploring what people create and looking at the prompts, the language used to create those videos. And two, most importantly, using the words you know and the words you don't know, new words you're learning, to paint your ideas, to play with language, to turn your thoughts into reality. It's an amazing playground in that way. And you'll create things that'll then give you other ideas. And you'll learn how to refine language, adjust, tweak. Maybe this isn't working, so you need to find a new word, or maybe a sentence structure to clarify what you mean. I think that's really the biggest use case right now for language learning and video generators like Sora 2. Is Sora 2 the best one? I don't know. This feature of adding people is pretty cool. And the sound is decent. So I think it's up there. It's got to be up there. It's pretty good. I know right now access is a little bit limited, but you can just Google around and find invite codes. I found one pretty easily. Once you do, and once you play around a bit, let me know what you think of Sora 2 as a tool. Is it a gimmick? Is it useful? Does it help you explore language? Yes or no? If you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Check out my courses in the links in the description, especially the 90-day program. The best way to improve your English with AI in 90 days. And I just added a prompt workbook with over 40 prompts to help you improve your English in all kinds of different ways. That is added at no additional cost. And you get access right when you sign up. So check that out. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.